If you are a company secretary student, you have to know this news. New labor law codes are passed by the Parliament of India. This is the real breaking news you should know. This is the real breaking news every student of company secretary, every member of ICSI should know. This is going to be the future career opportunity for company secretaries. This is path breaking. You will remember this video when you know the reality of the future. This is a great future option for company secretary students because we have the new labor codes passed by the parliament. This was waiting for a very long time, and finally we have the new labor codes. So basically there are three new labor codes passed by the government of India through the parliament, and they are the Industrial Relations Code of 2020, the Code on Social Security 2020, and the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020. So if you remember, labor laws used to have more than 40 to 50 different central acts. When you add center and state, you need to have almost 100 different laws. It used to be so confusing and so difficult. In fact, in CS executive, labor law portions was reduced because ICSI was thinking that will CS students really have these opportunities? But 100% in the next syllabus, whenever ICSI comes, they are going to add these three new labor codes. This is the new labor law. How we have insolvency and bankruptcy code, IBC, for all the insolvency and bankruptcy matters, everything related to labor laws. So basically, all the things related to labor laws, you don't have to refer 100 different acts, state government, central government, all this confusion will be simplified. So this is extremely path breaking. This is really going to change the India's manufacturing sector and give great opportunities for professionals like company secretaries, lawyers, chartered accountants, all the professions of commerce. So this will attract foreign direct investment. Please mark my words, dear students. You should know this really, really well. Don't tell, sir, it is not in my present syllabus, but you should be aware. This is the breaking news, not some breaking news about exam. All that is nonsense. That is not breaking news. This is the real breaking news. You should be aware. And also domestic investment from the entrepreneurs will be there because there will be total transparency. Please remember one thing. You go ask any small factory owner, go ask any industrialist. They will say Indian labor law is most confusing and Indian labor law is very unfair and not transparent for the entrepreneurs. But now, for entrepreneurs, you're going to get a very, very transparent system, and corruption will be reduced to a great extent. In labor law, corruption is a hard reality. It's a fact, and we have to accept it. But now, the labor codes, what they will do? They will give us a transparent, answerable, and simple mechanism, because labor laws are so confusing as of now. But these new labor codes, that is the Industrial Code of 2020, the Code on Social Security 2020, and the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Codes 2020 will make it transparent, answerable, simple mechanism, and the most important, one registration, one license, one return. If you go to any factory, go to any company, they have to basically have hundreds of books and hundreds of returns for labor laws. But now it will be very simple. So you will say, sir, if it is simple, how is it opportunity for company secretary, sir? What are you talking? See, the main reason is there will be more and more people who want to start industries. See, you will get FDI. See, there are many foreign companies who are not coming to India for manufacturing because the labor codes was not there and the labor laws was too many to follow. You only think if you have to follow 50 to 60 different acts in a company, how will you even take care of the labor law things in your company? It's impossible. But now this new code, these three are game changing. Mark my words, this is going to change the industrial revolution of India. This will mark the industrial revolution of India. This will give great impetus to manufacturing. This will give great impetus to investment, that is foreign investment and domestic investment. More and more people will start companies. If more people start companies, there is more work for company secretary, lawyer, chartered accountant, everybody. Alright, so let's go with a brief. Very quickly we'll have an overview because we are not studying this for exam, just to give you an idea what is part of these codes. So this is the industrial relations code, the code of social security and occupational safety, health and working condition. So what used to be 100 laws is now going to be 3 laws. Very, very simple. So the code of social security. So social security is one of the main pillars. See, end of the day, the worker also should be protected. At the same time, the industry should get good workers and employees. So the social security, which is one of the main pillars. See, when you talk about labor law, even in whenever I used to teach labor law in CS Executive Old Syllabus, I used to say that working condition, wages, then the social security, industrial relation, these are the pillars. This welfare is the pillar of labor law that we cannot play. So social security, how is a employee going to be benefited? The ESIC will be provided in all districts of India. Then employee provident fund scheme will apply to establishment with 20 or more employees, 20 or more and not 10 or more. So that is going to give some relaxation for smaller, micro and tiny industries. Then EPF, EPS, EDLI, all these schemes like employee state insurance will be financed through combination from employer and employee. This is already happening, but it will be more transparent. Then we'll have working in hazardous sectors will be monitored in a much more strict manner. Then there'll be 51 scheme will apply to certain establishments with 10 or more employees. So there'll be many schemes which will be applicable. The code provides for establishment of several bodies to administer the social security schemes. There'll be different bodies which will be there. So there are more number of bodies. Basically, there'll be stricter vigilance. Then employees provident fund organizations, their coverage will have for 20 or more workers. At present, it is only included in the schedule. Then what else will happen? To formulate various schemes for comprehensive social security. So if you see this, they are giving you wider coverage. Gratuity is being made a fixed term employee and there would not be any condition for minimum service period. So as of now, you have to have 5 years employment for gratuity benefit. So many people never used to get gratuity, but this is a very welcome move. So not only employer, but employee is going to be benefited. So it is basically anybody can get the gratuity benefit. Then to make a national database for unorganized sector workers, registration of workers will be done in the online portal. So like how companies are registered in MCA portal, all workers will have online portal. So it is easy to monitor them and they can get the social security. Then it has been made mandatory for all establishment where you have 20 or more workers to report the vacancy. So whenever vacancy is there, they have to tell in the online portal. So this is going to become very transparent, dynamic, and it's going to be great. Next, we have the occupational safety, health and working conditions of the laborers. So this code of 2020, what will be there? So this is basically for wherever there are 10 or more workers. It will apply to mines, docks, all these hazardous industries. Then most importantly, establishment covered by the code, they have to register within 60 days. So now the code is passed. The occupational safety code is passed. Within 60 days, they have to register. This is very important. No worker will be required or allowed to work in any establishment for more than 8 hours in a day. So many people used to work 12 hours, 14 hours, and there was no proper regulation. But now, thanks to the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code, code is bigger than Act. Please understand that. Code means it is bigger than Act in terms of coverage, in terms of the protection which we get. Alright? So within 60 days, they have to register. No worker can work more than 8 hours. Then overtime work, whatever it is, they will be paid twice, double. If you work overtime, you need to get double. So if your daily wages is 500, if you work overtime, you need to get double of your daily wages for the overtime work. So let us say 4 hours OT you did. For 8 hours, if you get 500, for OT 4 hours, you should again get 500 because you should get double the wages for overtime. Okay, this is important. Then women can work past 7 p.m. before 6 a.m. subject to the safety. Right now, women were not allowed, but we need to understand that in a modern world, women should be given protection and also the chance and equality. So women can work after 7 p.m. and before 6 a.m. but safety should be maintained as per the government regulation. Then central and state government will set up occupational safety and health boards so that everybody's health and safety is at utmost importance. So there is, all these things are there now, but they're going to make it more strict and more transparent and more accessible to everyone. Government may require certain establishment to constitute safety committees in case of certain class of workers. So safety committee, wherever there is a very dangerous kind of work, safety committee will be there, and to ensure there is no industrial accident. That is most important for us to realize. Working conditions will be notified by central government. Then welfare like what? Canteen, first aid box, creche, that is for basically women employee for their babies. Even for that we need to give a proper facility. All this will be notified by central government. Free health checkup is given once a year by employer for all the workers which is of a certain age. So this is the kind of benefits. Then you also get legal right, okay, for getting appointment letter, all these things you will be getting it. Then cine workers have been designated as audiovisual worker. That is all this cinema, right? So for the cinema industry, now they are called as audiovisual worker and they're going to be covered under the code. They are called as employee, then they'll get all the benefit. So this was given to artists working in film and not for, see, cine worker means this light boy, makeup artist, all these kind of support, audio recorder, these people. But now anybody work in cinema field, they are also going to get the benefits of labor law. Then the most important for industrial relation, like what we had Industrial Dispute Act 1947, something similar to that, we have the Industrial Relations Code 2020. So basically this is for having good relation between employer-employee. That is most important. Otherwise they'll always be fighting. So recognition of trade union, state and central level, recognition has been given in the labor code for the first time. Constitution of bipartite forums for dispute resolution. Then negotiating union. Instead of going to court for everything, you can just negotiate. So you have a proper procedure for negotiating disputes. Then where you have 300 or more workers, you should have a standing orders. So Industrial Standing Orders Act was there. So that is covered over here. So basically all these 40-50 labor acts has been reduced to 3 codes. So it is easy, and the most important is single registration, single form and single compliance. That is what it is. The code allows for industrial disputes to be voluntarily referred to arbitration by the employer and workers. Then what happens when there is voluntarily referred to arbitration? We don't have to go to court. So it will be easy dispute resolution. See, employer-employee will have problem, but you should try and resolve it with arbitration, or in this point, as you can see, conciliation officer, mediation. So you'll settle the dispute in an easy manner. No person employed in an industrial establishment shall go on any sort of strike in breach of contract. Provision for reskilling fund has been made. So every time a new technology comes, the workers should be given fresh skill, otherwise they will lose their job. And anybody who lost their job, they need to get some reskilling so that they get some new jobs. Then anything else with respect to dispute, there will be a tribunal. Like how we have National Company Law Tribunal for companies, same way for labor will be having a separate tribunal, and that will be after conciliation, after arbitration, and this will be very, very easy to solve. Then after recognition of the employment, there will also be option for fixed term employment, labor contract. So all these kind of things will also be given under the new code. So arrangement for approaching tribunal for resolving disputes between trade unions, all that the time they have reduced. So basically you need to understand that you should be very well aware and make sure that you acquaint yourself with the latest changes, because this is going to be the future, and this will really make sure that you have a great career. See, the company secretary career is becoming wider and wider. This is what you need to understand. As you can see here, the career opportunities for CS is becoming very wide, because of these 3 new labor codes. So please do let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll be very happy to listen to your comments. This is a great opportunity. Of course, it is not there for exam right now as when I'm making this video, but make sure that you are aware of this news, you are aware of this general knowledge. Slowly, you have a great opportunity in future. All the best to you, and subscribe to Ekcel Academy, your one-stop solution for the CS course.